What is up, hooligans? Happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Gonna read through the schedule really quick. Now we're gonna make sure everything's running smoothly. Pretty excited for the website today. I don't know how things are going to run, but we just put the new chat together over there. It's not 100% yet. We're just kind of testing things, but it's a lot better than the old chat. We have the ability to have custom emojis. We can put GIFs in the chat, or GIFs, or whatever they're called. We can put memes in the chat. It is now the best chat out of all the live streaming platforms, which is pretty cool. We're just testing it though. I have some potential issues. I'm waiting to see if they pop up or not, but I appreciate everybody being here. Make sure you guys hit that like, get us on the front page. Well, today we do not have any White House press briefing. I know, all the people crying. So sad we don't get to see KJP today. I don't know what she's doing, maybe in AA or something like that. We'll be starting off with a video titled "Debris Found in Search for Missing Jet." This whole situation is so suspicious. Second video titled "Debris Field Aerials After Missing Fighter Jet Found." Obviously both of those have to do with that F-35 or whatever the jet was that they lost. They lost it after the pilot had ejected. I almost said a different word. After he ejected and abandoned the jet, it was on autopilot and just flew away. I guess they found it, but there's still a lot of weird stuff going on with that story. Then we have a video titled "If We Don't Correct This, Our Society Will Suffer." It's a video, it's got Tommy in it. I know you guys like that Tommy girl. Crime is just on the rise. They're going to punish criminals even less. Yay. Then we have a video titled "The State is Unleashing Criminal Madness." Same thing, crime is getting worse, just different areas. Then we have a video titled "Migrant Surge Prompts Halt of Cargo Processing at El Paso Bridge." So many border crossers coming across. The people who are legitimately coming across, especially for work, are now going to be turned away. You'll have to detour. You'll have to go to another passage, another border opening, because there's just too many border crossers crossing right there, and they need the extra agents. So we'll just shut down the legitimate services so we can go over here and tend to these illegal services that are happening, because that makes a lot of sense. Then we have a video titled "Mexican Doctors X-Ray Alleged Non-Human Remains." Is that correct? Mexican doctors? It's not doctors in Mexico? I don't know. I don't know who titled that video, but either way, they're taking the little mummified alien bodies, the non-humans, excuse me. They're not declared aliens quite yet. It looks like cat shit. That's what it looks like. It looks like a toddler got a hold of a litter box and put together what looks like an alien, but they went and they x-rayed it and stuff, you know, all that good stuff. Then we have a video titled "Trump to Skip GOP Debate to Target Auto Workers." Again, another weird worded title. He's coming to Detroit. He's going to talk to the people who are on strike and talk about the people who are on strike at the Big Three and all that kind of stuff. We'll be covering that live when that happens. Then we'll be wrapping things up with a video titled "NBC's Trump Fact Check After Meet the Press Interview." I still haven't watched the Meet the Press interview. It must not have did very well, because I'm not seeing any clips of it, no highlight reels or anything, so it must not have been that great. It slipped my mind. I forgot to watch it yesterday. But they kind of picked things out of the interview. Apparently NBC went on a fact-checking spree, which fact-check is pretty much paid for by BlackRock. So if that tells you anything about the whole fact-checker situation. But they wanted to try and prove Trump wrong. Of course, it's all splitting hairs. A lot of the fact-check is splitting hairs. You know, if you said you had $5, these people come around the corner and go, "No, you have $4.83. I'm like, well, it's almost $5. And so they're doing a lot of stuff like that. But that's what's on the schedule today. Let's read through the chat, make sure everything is running smoothly. Go ahead and get her started. Look at everybody over on the website. Happy freedom, all of you hooligans, over on jeffmaclive.com. What's up, Chris? Chris, don't you worry about getting doxxed or anything like that. I'll help you. Send me a message. Send me a message through the message system, and I'll help you get your name straightened out, but you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff here. That's one of the few and only ways to get banned from the website, is to maliciously go after another hooligan. So I wouldn't worry about that. Everybody we got on the website is pretty great, so I wouldn't worry about that, Chris. But I'll help you get that straightened out. What's up, Annette? What's up, Donna Sparks? Happy Freedom. What's up, Hair Juicer? Appreciate you guys being here. So I'm not sure if this is happening or not, but I think as the chat goes on, it will keep scrolling down the page, and that's something I'm kind of worried about. We'll see if that's actually going to happen or not. I do plan on working on the live stream page some more later today. We're just testing things out because in order to have custom emojis and all that stuff, I have to pay for a pro version of that chat, which is like $50 a month or something like that. Either way, if we decide we like the chat, I plan on getting the upgrades and stuff so we can have all the cool stuff. We'll get there. What's up, everyone over on Rumble? What's up, Snooks? What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, Astral Hammer? Happy Freedom. What's up, Elisa? What's up, Undercrofter? What's up, Kevin? What's up, Matthew? What's up, JT3? What's up, J Sprays? Happy Freedom, you hooligans. What's up, Witchy? What's up, Captain Seamus? What's up, Wicked? Oh, Wicked, let me do the thing really quick since we got you here. Or did I already do it? No, we did it on Kick. Let me get this straightened out really quick. This will take 2 seconds. Just a moment. Oh no, we got you on there. You're good to go. Why doesn't it show you're a mod though? Where's Snooks at? Are you on your old account? You must have got back into your old account, because I have you modded, but it's not the account you're logged into right now. Wicked Patriots actually cake? No, it's not cake. I seen that. I don't know if it was actual propaganda or people were taking it too far, but it's not actually cake. I don't know that it's not cat shit. They claim there's bones and that these aliens were not put together to manipulate the public, but leave it to them to fact check themselves. What's up, Johnny Boy? Happy Freedom. What's up, Tree Herder? Good to see you over on Rumble. What's up, Sam? Happy Freedom. What's up, Loopy? Sneaking in right at the end here. Appreciate all of you hooligans being here. What's up, Ghostly? Almost marked your tardy. Made it right through the door. What's up, everyone over on Odyssey? Another day of Odyssey running well. Again, it was not Odyssey's fault that they were down for a week or two. That was the service I was using, but I'm not using them anymore because I found something better. So that's what life's about. What's up, everyone over on Kick? Happy Freedom. What's up, Ted? What's up, DeRosa? What's up, Tom? Appreciate all of you hooligans being here. DeRosa going ham with the emojis. What's up, everyone over on Twitch? What's up, Mr. Beansy Beans? What's up, Soul For Real? What's up, Grey Wolf? Happy Freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being here. What's up, Peyton? Happy Freedom. And what is up, everyone over on GoofTube? Let me get you this link real quick. I want to remind all of you guys on YouTube that Saturday is now Free Speech Saturday. So if you want to watch the live on Saturdays, you have to be somewhere other than YouTube. Any other platform we live stream on outside of YouTube is live for Saturdays. Free Speech Saturday. All right. Drop a 1 in the chat over on YouTube if you want me to turn that emoji thing off. I have to do it per video, and I'm not going to worry about it if you guys don't care. But that whole emoji thing in the chat, for some people, it really bothers them on mobile. You got a couple seconds. If I see some ones, I'll turn that emoji thing off. What's up, Adam? Happy Freedom. What's up, Larry? Appreciate you guys all being here. What's up, T. Lawton? What's up, Robert? What's up, Days End? What's up, MD Cy Run? What's up, Zero? What's up, T. Lawton? Appreciate all of you hooligans. What is your name? What's up, Eddie? Happy Freedom. 24/7, you want that off? DeRosa, same thing with the Juan. Alright, just give me a second. It takes 2 seconds. Boom. There you go. It should be removed out of the chat. If you still see it, you probably just need to refresh the page. I've had Hooligans complain about the timeline on the video being able to rewind the live. I don't know how to change that. I don't know how to change that. I don't know if I even can change it. I know that I've seen Hooligans saying on other YouTube videos you can rewind the live. On mine you can't. I don't know anything about that. I've looked into the settings. I can't figure out how to change that. I'll have to watch a tutorial or something. I kind of feel like it's something that YouTube is doing. So I have like 5 YouTube channels and each one is a little bit different. The settings are a little bit different. The things I'm allowed to do is a little bit different. The features they provide to me are a little bit different. And so I'm wondering if this is one of those situations where this is something that's happening to me and I don't actually have control over it. But either way, appreciate all of you guys being here. It is time to get things started. We can Patriot over on the website. Glad to see you over there. Alright, we started with this first video titled Debris Found in Search for Missing Jet. These first 2 videos are about this jet. First one is information. The second one is the actual debris field that they're claiming that's where the jet crashed. I don't really believe it though. There's no jet pieces. They don't show you a jet at all. They just show like, I don't know, forest area where there's just some trees knocked down. There's I don't know. You guys will see. You'll see. You'll have to let me know if you think it's suspicious. But first, I'm gonna tell you guys, you go to the merch store, you can get you a free The Orange Eagle t-shirt, hoodie, tank top, everything but a fanny pack. I don't have fanny packs yet. I'm working on it. I'm gonna buy a fanny pack, and if it's big enough to stick a Glock in, we'll start making those too. Anyways, free The Orange Eagle t-shirt and all these other designs can be found at the merch store. I will drop the link in the chat for all of you hooligans to check out at your leisure. If this isn't your style, go ahead and get yourself a Screaming Goat t-shirt. And of course we have tons of other designs. These are just our newest ones, and we would have even more coming, but I suck so bad at writing emails. I gotta get back to OG. He's waiting on me. It's my fault that we don't have new designs yet. It's all my fault. He's eager, willing, and ready to go, and I'm just slow and really bad at writing emails. So either way, we will get that done. Let's get this video started first though. Once again, I'll drop that merch link in the chat for you guys.
Debris has finally been found from that military jet that went missing in South Carolina over the weekend. The whole world watching this going, how in the world does this happen? The military lost detection of its F-35 jet after the pilot safely ejected from his seat mid-flight, leading a lot of people to wonder, how could the U.S. military simply lose track of an $80 million warplane? Nick's here with more on this story. Nick, these jets are designed for stealth. We know that. Is that why it was so difficult to find this aircraft?
Marky, that's part of the reason, but that's not entirely the reason. That F-35's whereabouts were a mystery for about 24 hours before it was found in rural South Carolina Monday night. That jet took off from Joint Base Charleston on Sunday. The pilot was ejected and was found in a neighborhood about 4 miles from the base, but the plane continued flying on autopilot. They used the jet's flight path to lead them to the debris field in a small rural community of Indiantown, and that's roughly 80 miles northeast from Joint Base Charleston. Now, U.S. officials ordered a 2-day stand down for all Marine Corps aviation, both inside and outside of the United States, meaning military aircraft will not be flying until there's further discussion on safety measures and procedures. It has been reported that part of the difficulty in finding the craft was connected to a failure in its transponder signal, which allows tracking. And the fighter plane's design created so that radar can't locate them. But lawmakers say there was a frustrating lack of information during the search for the jet, and they still have plenty of unanswered questions.
The Marine Corps sent individuals over to my office who could not provide any answers whatsoever. They couldn't tell me where the pilot ejected or where the pilot landed. Very little information, and that's not good for public safety. They didn't even have basic minimum information. So you can imagine, as a person who represents a low country where this event happened, that I am frustrated would be an understatement.
And Representative Mace is not the only one frustrated. The military classifying this incident as a Class A mishap, which means the damage is done and it's costing the military about $2.5 million or more. Now, authorities say this is the third Class A mishap involving Marine Corps aviation units in the last 6 weeks. Adrian?
Thank you for watching. Go to News Nation now.
So that's the first video. We're going to play the second video, and it is footage of the debris field. This is the third big thing to happen with them in 6 weeks. That seems like it's happening a little bit too often. I mean, I've never been in the military or anything like that, but you don't normally hear of accidents and mishaps and things like that quite that frequently. At least not that I know of. This video is really short. It's just the debris field. I don't even know if there's audio. I don't know. I feel like that could be anything. We could be looking at anything right now. Knocked over trees. I don't see any plane parts. I don't see any digs in the ground, like a path where it hit the ground and slid. I don't know if I'm just expecting too much. You guys let me know. What are your thoughts in the chat? Because this seems like a bunch of nonsense. Maybe the $5-6 billion wasn't enough for Iran. They had to throw in the jet, and you know, on paper, what does that look like? Well, I guess maybe we should just say we lost it and just chalk it off as a loss. Write it off on our taxes. Not sure. Something is off about it. Something is off. I mean, and maybe it's a distraction, but it's a little bit too mucho poquito. It's too small, I feel like, to be an actual distraction. Thank you so much, Wicked Patriot, for joining the membership program over on Rumble. And welcome to the family. You're officially a hooligan. No, I appreciate you. Thank you, Wicked Patriot. Let me see. Thank you so much, Astral Hammer, for the $10 donation over on Rumble. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for all the support. Thanks for making America hooligan. Oh yeah, we gotta do that. I got the sticky note here somewhere. I'm all the notes. It's just the notes. And the goats, right? I got it. Okay, I got it. But you're right. Thanks for reminding me. We got to put that shirt out. Maybe that'll be the next one we put out. We'll see. Undercrofter Deception. I'm thinking so. Something weird's going on. They're doing some sort of sleight of hand or something. Because if it was really... Like, wouldn't you think this would be a threat to national security? The people in our Air Force can't even fly our jets? We're just losing jets. They're just flying around by themselves. Don't you think our enemies would love to hear that? Why put that out there? I don't know. Something is weird about it. Matthew, the economy has collapsed. I don't know if that's necessarily what it is. It's something. It's something other than what it is. Otherwise, they would know more about it. At this point, they still don't know a whole lot about it. They don't know how they lost it. They don't know why they couldn't track it. God only knows how long it took them to actually find it. How did they find it? Why is there no footage? That's what I want to know. In every situation where there's chaos, there's a person standing there like doing that. So when the pilot ejected and he landed in a residential area, nobody pulled their phones out to say, hey, we have army men falling out of the sky. Nobody saw that. No pictures, no video, no nothing. Nobody wanted to get famous on TikTok that day. What happened? And then how'd they find the plane on the ground? Did a pedestrian find it? Where's the photos of that? Where's the video of that? They just showed aerial footage and didn't even show any plane parts. What's going on? Like, what is going on? Come on, man. I just don't believe it. Just don't believe it. Matthew, no one filmed it. Hey, look, a jet. I mean, you would think if they dropped that in the right town, somebody would try and fly it. If it would have landed in a trailer park, you'd see people fighting over who's going to fly the jet first. I don't know. Something weird about it. Thank you so much, Wicked Pager, for the $25 donation. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for all the support. Let's see. Flip it through the chat really quick before we move forward. We have tons of news to cover today, so we might not be doing too much chatting. I gotta keep it to a minimum. I love chatting with you guys, but I gotta keep it to a minimum. Otherwise, we'll be here all day, and it's not fun for everybody, especially when you gotta go get kids from school and stuff like that, and you feel like you missed the end of the show, and I don't want anybody to feel like they miss out. It's a balance. The song and dance is a balance we do every day. Serum finders keepers, come at me, bro. Yeah, they're lucky they didn't land in Chicago. Over the weekend, 200 people died. Some sort of makeshift weaponry taken from the lost jet over in the south side of Chicago. My goodness, they'd be selling the bullets on the black market and all that stuff. I just said, Ted, people will be selling the parts on eBay. Exactly. See, we know how Americans work. We're really here in the dirt with everybody else. Everybody on TV, they just pretend. They just pretend. KJP up there like, well, the American people want. Never asked me a day in my life what I wanted. KJP, don't speak on my behalf. Do not do that. DeRose, if it was in Chicago, they would have jet-jacked that plane. They'd be like, come here, I want to talk to you. Come here, I want to tell you something. Get out of the jet, I want to talk to you. Let me tell you something. That's what they do. You get in those big cities, they always want to tell you something. As soon as they get you in their clutches, you're doomed. You're doomed. Mr. Beansy Beans, didn't the Walmart greeter speak today? I don't know if that's happened yet. I know that he was on the schedule to do something, I don't know that it was him. No, vice president. Unless it was earlier today, which it could have been. 12:45, so an hour ago, Hyena Harris participates in a Fight for Our Freedoms college tour moderated conversation. What is that? Like, what even is that? Why can't you just speak in plain text? Oh, because it would say she's doing a whole bunch of nothing. Bunch of lip service. On camera and off camera. Wicked Patriot, they're woke. They are. You guys going ham in the chat over here? What do you guys think of the new chat on the website so far? Like I said, there's still upgrades and stuff that can be added to it. This is like their demo package for this chat. Hair juicer. I'd have truckloads at the scrapyard all day. Sorry, boss, can't make it in today. Oh my God, how much do you think you could get for it? I'm trying to think. I sold my Trailblazer to a scrapyard. They gave me a whole $600 or something for it. When I was young, when I was just a young lad, just a young hooligan. Me and WMM, because we went to high school together. During the summer, we would drive around to all the country spots where you see farmland and stuff, and we'd be scoping out old tractor parts in their yard or in the field that, rust had been sitting there forever. Go knock on the door. Hey, you want to get rid of that? We'll throw that in the truck if you don't want it. And a lot of times people will be like, yeah, like I don't want to pay to dispose of it or whatever. Just if you can get it, take it. And we're like, good. Take it down to the scrapyard and get a couple $100. We'd be getting hot and ready pizzas and sitting at the beach trying to beg people, hey man, I'll give you $20. You buy me a 40. You go into Wesco and buy me a 40. We were living it up. 10 man checking it out. Wicked Patriot, you like the chat? And that's interesting. I like it. So if you click the little smiley face thing, they have their own kind of custom emojis. I mean, they're not the prettiest, but we have the ability to upload our custom emojis. So everything from Rumble and Kick and those places, we'll have all those emojis pretty soon. Let's see. Ghostly, why was it running stealth over South Carolina? That's not where we test aircrafts. I think they're saying that the aircraft itself was just stealth. I don't think it was necessarily in a stealth mode, but they were saying that there was a feature on the jet that was not communicating at the home console there, and that's how they lost track of it. And that seems like a big deal. Seems like a big deal, I would think. What if you were having issues? What if you were the pilot in the jet? You're having issues, radar is failing, I don't know, mechanical failures, who knows? You're trying to reach back to the home base. Hey, something's going on. Well, they can't hear you. They don't know where you are. That's a big deal. It's a big deal. All right, I think we're going to flip to the next one. What's up, Ghost? Happy freedom. Let me see if I can... I don't know if these changes will affect you guys in the chat. I'm going to change things and see if we can get a lock on the names here. I don't know if you guys' username thing just changed, but now you should be able to see profile name, username. And then we'll be able to recognize each other a little bit better until I get things fixed. So this next one's titled, this is a Tommy video for all you hooligans out there that fancy Tommy girl. It's titled, "If we don't correct this, our society will suffer." These next two videos are about crime and how it's only on the rise. Thanks to our so-called leaders. Oh. All right, let's get this started. Real quick, I believe there's guns in this video randomly just because it's clips of crime. So throughout the video, you're going to see me flip the screen, and it's because I can't show guns as long as YouTube is watching.
Also, this horrific story out of Las Vegas where teenagers in a stolen car are accused of intentionally running into a retired police officer. They ran him over. A deadly hit and run. Even worse, those teens recorded it and posted it online and can be heard laughing in the video.
Ready? Yeah.
Police arrested and charged the 17-year-old driver with murder, and prosecutors want to charge him as an adult, but they are still searching for the passenger who took the video.
The victim's wife speaking out publicly for the first time since the murder charge was announced, telling Fox News Digital, quote, "It's not just about one victim. We as a nation are victims. We are victims of senseless crimes. We all need to show up and show our outrage in the courtrooms." Outkick host Tommy Lamb joins us now. Tommy, just so horrific. What is your reaction to this callous and depraved act?
I can't be the only one that's thinking in both of those scenarios, where are the parents? Not only where were the parents when these acts were committed, the smash and grabs, the attacking of the clerk, the running down of the retired police chief on his bicycle, where were the parents then when these teens stole the vehicles and decided to go on a free-for-all? But where were the parents leading up to this? Where were the parents in these young people's lives leading up to this? You know, we all know that this is not a behavior that you are born with. This is a taught behavior. This is a learned behavior. So either parents are teaching this or parents are letting society teach this, and they simply do not care. And this is not only doing a giant disservice to society, but to young people who grow up with entitlement but no consequences. They are coddled. They feel they can do no wrong. They laugh at these things. They put them on social media because they call it content. We are losing the youth in this country, and this isn't just some small thing. This is going to impact our society for years to come, because these juveniles, they are going to grow up, they are going to be adults, and I shudder to think what they're going to do then if we don't apply consequences now.
Yeah, Tommy, I think you are absolutely right. And it's striking to hear from the widow, Crystal Probst, say, this is bigger than just my husband. We're all victims here, and something needs to change. And it's not even, it's not only the parents, it's also the way the country is right now, where criminal justice is viewed as compassion, where letting criminals off early probation is seen as compassionate. Is it really? Because then it also teaches, especially young people, the 17-year-old reportedly already has a rap sheet, that they can get away with it. Wouldn't compassion actually be punishing first-time offenders or second-time offenders so they don't do this again?
Yeah, discipline and structure goes a long way with young people. I'm sure that the three of us probably grew up that way, where we feared consequences, we feared adults, and we feared that discipline and that structure. And that's why we were able to keep ourselves in line and turn out to be adults who are productive members of society, who were decent people. But when you take away that structure and the discipline, and a lot of this started in 2020, by the way, when there was the free-for-all riot looting season where everybody felt like they could just do whatever they wanted, they passed passed that off as justice, and now we're sitting here in 2023 and we're confused and shocked why this keeps happening. Once you labeled that okay, everything else after that was seemingly okay. So now if we don't correct that and correct it soon, that is going to be the new normal. That will be the precedent, and our young people and our society is going to suffer irreparably because of that precedent.
And we also have a problem in our country about how much we value human life in more ways than one. Tommy Lahren, thank you so much.
That's right, Todd.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here.
Well, I mixed up the videos. There was obviously no guns in that video. The next one has guns in it. No good. No good. What a bunch of psychopaths. Driving down the road was like, hey, let's run this guy over on a bike. What? I've had bad days, but I don't think I've ever really contemplated running over somebody on a bike. I know I've almost done it unintentionally, had somebody on a bike come out into the road, but to be like, 10 points and mean it, psychopath. I got 3 counts of assault and battery when I was 17, automatically charged as an adult. Was in jail before I was old enough to join the military. They're questioning whether or not to charge that 17-year-old as an adult when he murdered somebody with a vehicle. We can kind of already see how this case is going to go if they don't even know if they're going to charge him as an adult. He should absolutely be charged as an adult. He should be lucky he's not getting the death penalty. That's a terrible crime to do something like that. Who knows what he's done and hasn't been caught for. This is the kind of person you can't trust your dogs around. You can't trust babies around this person because they might just get bored and kill it. Like, there's obviously something wrong. And then like Tommy was saying, when we were younger, we used to fear consequence. We used to fear adults. We used to fear the wrath of authority. But that's because back then you used to get your ass beat inside of a Dollar General. You spoke out of line, your mama slap your teeth down your throat. You don't talk back, let alone break the law, break people's stuff, kill animals. That wasn't even in the options. That wasn't even on the menu. I wasn't allowed to raise my voice loud enough to catch a cat's ear. Okay, you get my teeth slapped down my throat. Like, no way. But took God out of schools, took spanking away. Criminals don't go to jail, and now they're doing cashless bond. Like, who's gonna fear that? Who's going to fear that? I think we need to bring back spanking. We got to make those punches in the face great again. And you got to worry about catching these hands as a kid. As soon as you're 18, you get these, make these punches great again. You could fear that. What's up, Matthew? Happy freedom. Glad you're digging the chat. Let's read through the chat really quick before we move forward. Wicked Patriot. Yeah, we got to work on that. We can't do the rank thing yet. That's something I have to pay for. There's all kinds of things the chat can do. There's all kinds of things the chat can do. It's a lot like Gilded. The ranking system is kind of like labeling who's a mod and who's not. But it can also be like a scoring system for who is the most engaged hooligan in the chat. But all that is stuff I have to pay for. So we're just running on the demo version right now to see the chat functionality. Appeal to heaven, spanking, plastic open, hold, paddles. Man, those hurt. I've been hit with everything. I've been hit with everything. Yardsticks and switches. I've been hit with the cords off of a radio. I've had wall phones. I mean, all of that. And I'm not saying that people should be doing that, but some sort of accountability needs to happen. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jeffro, for the $50 donation. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Just wanted to drop a little doll hairs in your pocket. Happy freedom. You're so awesome, Jeffro. Thank you. Yeah, and I'm not promoting child abuse. I don't want you guys to think that. Don't do that. Okay, don't do that. But there needs to be accountability. There needs to be accountability. I mean, even if you gotta... I really hate grounding. Because there's nothing your kid wants to do more than sit in their room, stare at their phone, and be left the hell alone. Okay, so grounding kids, I feel like doesn't even do anything. You want to ground them, force them outside with a phone, without their phone. So go play outside, and give me your phone, come back when the street lights are on. I bet you they never mess up again. You're like, here, take their phone away, do math, read, write sentences like Bart Simpson. Explain to me why you will never screw up again. Oh, man. You already know. They'd be all, my mom's abusing me, writing these sentences. But we need it. We need accountability, because if you got bad kids, guess what? They grow up to be bad adults. And that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Just flipping through the chat really quick. Wicked Patriot, yeah, getting hit with the flip-flop. Have mom hit you with the chocolate. Yep. It's true. Tree herder, no phone, just tortillas slid under the door. Here's a dinner. I better not hear shit out of you. I'm saying. Appeal to heaven grounding. Back in the day, no phones, no Nintendo, no TV, outside yard work. Yeah. Yep. Washing dishes, cleaning the kitchen, cleaning the house, getting yelled at while you're doing it. No kind of gratitude at all. It's just you're sweeping the floor and they're like, yeah, that looks like shit. You're going to do that again when you're done. You're like, man, they better get used to it, because that's what working is like. That's exactly what working is like. Zero, I was terrified of my parents being mad at me. I kind of was too. My mom used to close hand hit me. So it was like, you didn't want to make her mad, because you wouldn't even see it coming. You'd just be talking, everybody in the room's talking, you're just whatever, and you say something that's a little out of pocket, it's just turn, wham. Knuckle sandwiches all day. You get your lips busted open. Nope, I still don't talk back to my mom, and I probably got her by 100 pounds, maybe more. I'm not going to talk back to her. Have my teeth knocked down my throat. Tam, they need accountability buddies. They need something. Kids need discipline. It's good for them. It's good for all of us. We'll have less Antifa if we hold kids accountable for their actions. Ted, time to bring back spanking. Yep. DeRosa nunchucklas. Yep. Thank you so much, American Woman, for joining the membership program over on Kick. And welcome to the family. You're officially a hooligan. And I appreciate you. Thank you. You're awesome. The nunchucklas. DeRosa, you crack me up. You probably know. You probably know about them chocolates. I had some friends that just... You hear those flip-flops coming up the stairs, they just start shivering. Shh, don't laugh so loud. Mom's come in here and hit us. She's got a dead eye. She just nail you from across the room. Hit you with the laser beam chocolate. It's true. Mr. Beansy Beans, after you use your chapstick, do you light up a cigarette? I mean, I just sit here for about 2 hours every day flipping my chapstick for you hooligans. You guys are ungrateful. You're ungrateful for the free show. Sitting here right in front of it. Nobody even knows what's going on. You guys crack me up. Son of Liberty, how many kids do you have? That's a weird thing to kind of ask me. Maybe it's not. Maybe if we let it just sink in for a little bit, people can realize how weird that is. I can't tell you guys if I have kids or not. Okay, I can't even protect my digital accounts. What would happen if somebody came after someone who was close to me? I can defend myself, and I think everybody is probably aware of that. 4 years, going on 4 years of being a live streamer, never showed any fear of anybody coming for me. But what I worry about is those people around me. So you don't never really hear me talk about anybody outside of WMM or someone that's special to me, which could be anyone, friends, family, whoever, because there is people gunning for me all the time. That's why I gotta wear a bulletproof vest to go grocery shopping, because you never know who's gonna walk up and shoot me in the face over something I said or did or showed 3 years ago. And things are really like that, whether you believe it or not. So as much as I would like to let you guys a little bit more into my life, those are things I can't really discuss. I can't say whether or not I have kids. But I got 12 sisters and brothers, and I'm the oldest, so even if you don't want to take parental advice from me because you think or don't think I have kids, I have enough siblings to know. And I can say that. Matthew, my siblings were babied. I was hit. I no longer speak to my mother. Yeah, I kind of have a situation like that. I got a sister who thinks that she's a shapeshifter and a BLMer and all this stuff, and it started back in like 2020. When I found that out, I was like, no, I don't. You're a terrorist. I'm not with that. And my mom found out, told me I had white privilege, and we stopped talking for a couple of years. I got my apology, though. I had to call for it, but, you know, hey, I still got it. Still got it. Snooks, you like this, okay? Don't act like you don't. Watching me flip my chapstick right here before your eyes. You hooligans crack me up. What's up, K-Love? Happy freedom. Let's run through the chat really quick. Alright. I'll move forward. What do we got next? So this next one, I believe, is the one that has guns in it. Just briefly, because it's, you know, security footage and whatnot being flashed on the screen. So there'll be moments where I'll be flipping the screens just to keep us out of GoofTube jail. Not that it really is going to affect me that much. Alright, let's get this started.
It's the dawn of a new era for the law and order in Illinois.
As of today, judges will not require suspects charged with crimes to post bail in order to get out of jail.
Seems like a brilliant plan for a city not only struggling with a crime crisis, but also a migrant crisis as undocumented illegal aliens flood into the city. Let's bring in Chicago Alderman Raymond Lopez to the show. Hey, Raymond, good to see you. So I have to imagine, you know, you in your position, other aldermen, law enforcement have to be ready for a spike in crime with these new bail laws coming into effect.
You know, without question, you know, they market this as pretrial fairness, but in reality, this is criminal madness that they're unleashing on not only the city of Chicago, but the entire state of Illinois. And we've seen where they're basically saying that if you commit robbery, arson, second-degree murder, or even threaten an elected official like myself, we'll let you go as long as you promise not to do anything until your court date. And that is just the most asinine concept I've ever seen in law enforcement. And it's not gonna bode well for our residents who want to be safe in their own homes and in their own communities.
Alderman, this is statewide. Did they not look at New York State and what has happened here? And witnessing this firsthand, what happens is they just stop arresting people altogether. And so the crime stats don't even reflect the level of theft, of lower level crimes, arson and manslaughter, because the cops don't show up and arrest people because the district attorneys don't prosecute the crimes.
And unfortunately, Dagan, they'll take that as a win because in their mind that shows that the crime stats have in fact gone down when the crime events continue to go on the upswing. And this is what happens when the political academia of politics start taking control of your cities and your legislatures, thinking that this is just some academic exercise in good government, not realizing that the laws that they're proposing have dire consequences when the ones that will manipulate them the most are the criminals who know how to work the system, who know how to pull on people's emotions, and have no regard for their victims that they leave behind them.
So, Alderman, drugs have turned the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, into a city of zombie drugs. Now lawmakers in the city have passed a bill that would ban supervised drug sites in an attempt to clean it up. Philly's home to the notorious Kensington neighborhood, where a zombie drug called Trans-Q is taking over the streets along with the usual suspects like fentanyl and crack meth and heroin. Meanwhile, Illinois is considering legislation allowing supervised drug sites as overdose deaths. They continue to climb. So my question for you is, obviously you have good constituents who would elect a guy like you, put you in a position of power. But what's wrong with the rest of the city? The people who vote, putting in elected members that are voting for these crazy pieces of legislation.
You know, everyone wants to have their Messiah complex validated in the city of Chicago, particularly among the socialist and progressive members of our city council and of our General Assembly. And it's very true that the road to hell is paved in good intentions. And I know that they want to do well by these individuals who have these addictions and afflictions, but we know where that's going to take them. We've seen, even in Philadelphia, as you're showing your viewers, that it has become overwhelmingly negative, this law, this opportunity that they're giving their drug addicts on the streets to have safe places, because they wound up creating more larger dens of inequity in their city throughout Philadelphia. And the same, I fear, will happen to Chicago if we go down this path.
Thank you, Alderman. always. I wish the subject matter was better. Raymond Lopez, thank you so much.
Keep bringing common sense to the city. Thank you.
Can I just add one thing? It sickens all of us because, again, these policies, they treat criminals and human garbage. They coddle them, and then people who abide by the law, who deserve better, they get treated like
And these drug
detritus.
laws, more people die. More people are dying from these drug laws.
Well, that's kind of a new thing for us, cashless bond or bail or whatever. But they actually already do this in Canada. And I thought that was really crazy. I'm not sure if it's all of Canada. It might be. Over near Windsor, towards Ontario and stuff like that. When I was dating that Canadian girl, her friend went to jail for something stupid. And in order to get them out, she had to go vouch for them. And I thought that was really weird. And apparently, if you're like a first-time offender, you can get out of jail by just promising that you'll be good. And you can go through all your court dates and everything on bond without actually providing anything. Now, if you're a multiple offender and stuff like that, then you got to have someone come vouch for you that doesn't have a criminal record, or there's some sort of stipulations. I can't go to Canada, so I don't know exactly. But they have a similar thing where you don't have to give them money to get out of jail. And so the feeling you get when you go to jail, like you're going to lose everything. All the plans you had for today, they're gone. Whatever you're going to do this weekend, nope, you're not doing that now. Last time I went, I was in college and I had papers due. And it was like the final for the class I was in. And then I went to jail and got out Saturday, and that Sunday everything was due. And I had to spend the whole day working on it because I was going to fail the class. And at $7,500 a class, I wasn't willing to fail it. And so, you know, that hopeless feeling of being held accountable for your actions. And in that case, I didn't actually do anything wrong. Somebody called the police on me and charges were all dropped because I didn't do anything wrong. But you get this hopeless feeling. And I think everybody feels that way when they get caught, whether they did anything or not. Just being put in handcuffs, knowing you're going to be sent to a concrete room that's full of actual criminals, and you're going to eat, sleep, shit, and shower in front of each other. You get this hopeless feeling, like it's all over. But I imagine if you go to jail and you know you're getting out, you don't have to have any money. You don't need anyone to vouch for you. You just go, I'm really sorry. And they go, all right, here you go. And they let you right out. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be a big deterrent for criminals. Kind of like gun-free zone signs. Oh, yeah, big deterrent. Big deterrent. Criminals don't know how to read. They don't know how to read. They don't follow the law. It makes no sense. No sense. And I'm wondering what other states are going to do this too. Do this cashless bail thing. They want fire in the streets. They want to. It's just in time for election season. It's no good. I do not think we will have a good outcome because of these changes. I think we're going to see crime get way out of control. He was saying second-degree murder or even threatening a public, like a public servant, like a politician and stuff, that you don't need cash for bond. I don't know. That's just, I don't see how that's going to work. Doesn't make sense to me. We're going to read through the chat really quick before we move forward. We still got 4 more videos on the roster here. Matthew brought up not drugged up. Yeah, and that's another thing messing kids up too. And it starts off young, real young. When I was 7th grade maybe, all of my friends were on Ritalin. They were all declared as ADHD. Everybody was on Ritalin. And then they started doing Klonopin. And then they started doing Darvocet. And so on and so forth. And now a third of them are still alive. The other ones are dead from addiction to pills. The ones that are alive, they're barely there. They're just withering away. I talk with WMM about this all the time. About how we are the only people we went to school with that still look the way we did when we were in school. Everybody else is either dead or they look 40 years older than us because of drug abuse, drug and alcohol abuse. And it's sad. It's sad. You got phones and pills raising kids, and then you send them to the school, and they're all docile, and the school, the teachers, the crooked, soft, stupid people out there that prey on children, they love it. They love it. Bring me this docile child so I can indoctrinate them and have them pray to rainbow flags and all this other stuff. It's no good. Just flipping through chat really quick. Appeal to heaven. Call in for Walmart pickup. That way when you order, you don't have to walk in. They can bring you all the items that you ordered. I mean, I could do that. I have to drive 60 miles to a Walmart, so I worry that if they screw my order up, then I'll be upset. That, like, I don't necessarily want to have to get out of the car and check everything when they bring the stuff to me. I'll give it a try. I've never done the pickup. I'll give it a try and we'll see how it goes. Because that's what Walmart's going to do anyways, and a lot of people don't know that. I know because I have friends that work at Walmart. Walmart's biggest competitor is Amazon. When was the last time you went inside Amazon? Never. You've never gone inside Amazon. They bring everything to you. Well, Walmart hates that they're losing to Amazon and they have to pay for customer service workers, people to come deal with you as a customer. And so slowly but surely, they're going to autonomize everything inside of Walmart and you won't be allowed to go in there. You will just do the pickup or delivery and that will be your only option at Walmart. They're rolling it out. They've been rolling it out for like 2 years now. I can't remember if they got like a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan, but eventually that's all it will be. You will not go inside Walmart anymore. And so just, keep that in the back of your mind because it's a real thing that Walmart is doing. It's something they're planning on doing. They've been rolling it out. And one day it will be that way. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, I'm not going to shop there anymore. Well, I hope you don't. I hope we can start employing these mom and pop businesses and go back to supporting each other instead of these mega corporations that are really controlled by the government and they're just used as a tool to manipulate all of us. Everybody in the chat with the trans cube, I don't know what drug they're talking about. I thought it was called Trank or something like that. The zombie drug where it makes your skin fall off and they're mixing it with fentanyl and stuff. I thought it was called Trank, but I don't know. I'm not a gynecologist. Oh, Zero, Train Q, Trank. Okay, yeah. I see. Zero, bridge the gap there. Once again, we are whole. What's up, Rappy? Happy Freedom. Appreciate you being here. What's up, Ruby? Welcome to the live. What's up, Creekwater? Make sure you guys hit that like button and get us on the front page. We're about halfway through the show. Still got a lot of stuff to cover. Jeff, I had to take a job at Walmart because no one else would let me work. Yeah, and it's not terrible. They have kind of an education program, like a re-education program, which is really weird. A way to deal with customers, and it's very specific, even down to like how you're supposed to emotionally present yourself to a customer. It's like really in depth, and it sounds like brainwashing. But outside of that, there's quite a few benefits, I feel, to working at Walmart. You're in a controlled area. You're never going to be too hot or too cold. They got central air there. Yeah, you got to deal with shitty customers, but there's not really that many jobs where you're not going to deal with shitty people. It may not be customers, right? You work in a factory. You don't have to look at customers. That's great. But then usually your manager, your coworkers, or the bosses are the shitty people you got to deal with. So, you're not really escaping it. I'm not hating on Walmart employees. I don't really like Walmart service, and I think some of the employees need better training or maybe have their eyes on the prize. I can't say how many times I've gone to the Ludington Walmart, and there's no one in electronics, but everything in electronics is behind glass. So then I got to walk all the way up to the front where customer service is and say, hey, you don't have employees in electronics. I'm trying to spend all my money on this Wi-Fi router so my hooligans can catch the live. And then I had to wait for an hour and a half for them to find a person qualified and with the keys to open the case to give me the thing that they're charging me too much to purchase. So, I mean, that's not great. That's not great, but Walmart's not all bad as far as needing a place to work. Matthew, I love outside. Inside sucks. I'm iffy. I'm kind of iffy. When I used to work for that road repair product company. We did a little bit of that. It was like sometimes I'd be inside painting, sanding, and redoing like renovations and stuff like that, and other times I'd be outside digging a hole and pouring concrete. And it was kind of fun, never knowing what I was getting myself into and stuff like that. But I get sunburned really bad, and once I get sunburned, I'm done. I'm tapping out. I start getting all cherry red and stuff. I'm out. I'm done. I ain't going outside for a week and a half. My boss didn't like that. He used to tell me I was a sissy. I'm going outside to mow the grass. I got a long sleeve shirt on. He's like, "What are you doing? It's 95 outside." I'm like, "The sun is hurting me." I'm like holding the doll. It's touching me right here. And he's like, "I don't care. Get your ass out there and mow that grass." I'm like, "I guess." I start singing field songs and stuff. Ted, Walmart sucks. I think the corporation sucks. To roast the people of Walmart's photos and videos. Yeah. I've thought about doing that because we see lots of questionable stuff at Walmart, and I think everybody does. I've thought about capturing footage. I mean, I got Old Man Walter yesterday, right? I showed you guys that yesterday. Old Man Walter was at Walmart. Oh, that reminds me. I think it was Astral Hammer that said in Gilded today, and I think it's a good idea. If you guys would like, you could submit sightings of Old Man Walter. If you happen to capture Old Man Walter in the neighborhood or something like that, snap a picture or a video of him. You could submit it into Gilded. You could submit it through jeffmaclive.com. You can even send it to me in an email. Just make sure that I know that this is a Walter in the Wild sighting. And then on Fridays, we're going to show everybody's sightings of where we found Old Man Walter sniffing babies and stuff here in the country, and even outside of the country. If you're a Canadian hooligan or something like that, you're welcome to join as well. Just get me your sightings, and then on Fridays we'll show them off. We'll keep track of where Old Man Walter is. I thought that was a great idea, and I just remembered, so I want to tell you guys, definitely participate. I think it's something fun that we can get into. Alright, well, I think we are ready to move on to the next video. It's titled, this one irks me, Migrant Surge Prompts Halt of Cargo Processing at the El Paso Bridge. This drives me nuts because there's so much illegal stuff going on that they're shutting down the legal stuff to accommodate more illegal processing. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it does if you're running the country as a white supreme child molester, but for everyone who's not Old Man Walter, this just doesn't make any sense.
There's always a conversation about what the U.S. is doing outside of our borders, but now it is obviously creeping in as well. This morning, U.S. Customs and Border Protection announcing it is temporarily suspending cargo processing at the Bridge of the Americas in El Paso, Texas, because you guessed it, that huge surge, that continuous influx of migrants crossing into the country illegally. That means truckers who usually make the crossing, they'll have to find other routes. Officials closed a pedestrian border crossing in California for the same reason. This problem has no solution in sight. Stephanie Haynes joining us live to break all of this down. Stephanie, clearly this is another sign of the strain that our border agents are facing now.
Adrian, good morning. That is exactly right. And look, CBP says that this is one of its contingency plans that it uses to fall back on to free up resources to help with migrant processings. In fact, it did something similar earlier this year, but now federal data shows that those migrant encounters are starting to tick back up again.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection is putting a pause on cargo processing at the Bridge of the Americas in El Paso, Texas. It's to free up border officers to help with the processing of the increasing number of migrants who show up at the border. Data from the city of El Paso shows CBP migrant encounters are the highest they've been since May. Texas Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland is a former Border Patrol officer and says this is not a good sign.
At the ports of entry, you have Office of Field Operations officers, and they're there to make sure legitimate trade and travel passes to and from the United States. So we're taking those people from those ports of entry to help Border Patrol because there's simply not enough Border Patrol agents.
Truckers who use the Bridge of the Americas will instead need to go through other crossing points in New Mexico and Texas. Back in April, officials suspended all commercial operations for 3 days at the Bridge of the Americas for the same reason. The head of a truckers association in Juarez, Mexico, then told Border Report the detours and long lines could cost the industry $10 million a day. In California last week, CBP closed a pedestrian border crossing between Tijuana and San Diego called Ped West, also to free up more officers to help with migrant processing because it says the facilities in that area have been operating over capacity. Agents have been dropping off hundreds of migrants in San Diego in daily street releases. In a statement, writing, quote, CBP is working according to plan and as part of our standard processes to quickly decompress the areas along the southwest border and safely and efficiently screen and process migrants to place them in immigration enforcement proceedings consistent with our laws.
Reuters reports that the Mexican government believes that this pathway on the Bridge of the Americas will open in about 2 or 3 days. However, U.S. officials haven't given a timeline except to say they hope to get it back to normal as soon as possible. Adrian.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television.
So like I said, you know, they're stopping legal transport and pretty much import of goods from that area so they can accommodate the illegal processing that's going on. They need more agents to hand out iPhones, new pairs of Jordans, and a Red Cross blanket to every parent or adult and stolen child that decides to cross that invisible line we call our border. How do you make that make sense? Like, how is that different than cartel work? How is that not organized crime? That's really what it is. It's just blatant organized crime happening before our eyes. We're watching the federal government break the law and most constitutional laws across the board right in front of us and just not even have an excuse. Like, just not even have an excuse for it. Yeah, we need to accommodate the illegal processing. In order to do that, because we're short on hands, we're going to have to start shutting down legal stuff that we got going on, because the illegal stuff, it just requires too much manpower, and we don't have it, so, you know, it makes no sense. And then you mix that in with California's new policy that you don't have to be a citizen of America in order to be an officer in California, or at least in San Francisco or San Diego or something like that, over in one of those flamboyant, totally drugged out homeless areas. You don't have to be an American to be a cop. Well, I'm sure that's going to turn out grand. That will be fantastic, I'm sure. I'm sure. There's nothing like having people who came here illegally enforce the law on Americans. Doesn't that sound good? Doesn't it sound like just a good thing? It's the Gestapo all over again. It is messed up. It is messed up. We're going to read through the chat really quick before we move forward. We got 3 more videos left. The next one's a really short one. Next one's about the aliens. They look like cat turds. My favorite. Need a little screaming goat in my life. Ah, nice and fresh. Appeal to heaven while Wild West repeats itself. That's what it feels like. That is what it feels like. Brew Joe, remember the Alamo. It feels like we're getting into those times where it's going to be us versus them. And it's we the people versus any kind of tyranny. And I don't want it to happen. I don't want bad things to happen to anybody. I want everyone to be whole and happy. But they're really making that difficult for us here on the ground. What's up, Speedy Girl? Happy freedom. Appreciate you stopping in. What's up, Screaming Eagle? Zero, did she say CCP? I thought she said CCP at first too, like she was saying that communist China was coming in through the southern border, which they are. But they're referencing some acronym that I don't even know what it stands for. CBP or something like that. Melissa, them alien mummies look like paper mache pinatas. Hit one with a bat and Jolly Ranchers will fall out. I firmly think that it's cat turds. That they just went wild in a litter box. I don't know. We're going to show it in a second. Supposedly they take 3 different kinds of x-rays or something, and they're proving that it is an actual skeleton of a being, that it was not put together for show, that it actually is a whole creature there. I don't know. It's just them fact-checking themselves. So I'm not really buying into it. Ted, wait till they get snooty with the avocados. They will revolt. I don't know why you guys like avocados. I do not like avocados. I'm not big on that. I know there's going to be a revolt in the chat right now. Everybody's going to stand up. What? You don't like avocados? I don't. I do not. They are gross. What's up, C1 Spring? Happy freedom. Afro Man Customs and Border Patrol. Yeah. K-Love, you love guacamole? I don't know if that's a female thing. I think all females like some guac. I don't like none of that stuff. Kind of picky. Bombay Man, the border agents are not doing their job. Well, they're told to stand down. If I was a border agent, I'd probably quit. You know, like, people don't become cops to not enforce the law. In most cases, I'll say. So once you get the job and you're like, I'm going to make the world a better place, which, you know, I would think that's what you'd be thinking. You get to work. They're like, no, you're just going to process illegals. You're just going to allow people to invade the country that you live in. So when you see border crossers at your home, tell Timmy he's got to live in the basement now because you got to welcome border crossers. Like, I'd quit, especially after what the White House pulled, saying that the border crossers were riding racist horses and all that were whipping migrants when they were crossing the border. And then none of that came, like, all that was fake. We knew it was fake. Then they came out and said it was fake. And then they never apologized to the border agents, and they're still on desk duty. No, thank you. I would not be applying for that job. But that's not good either. We need border agents, but laws need to be enforced. And it's just not happening. What's up, not sure? Happy freedom. Salty Ragu, I got Odyssey up and running, and now you're just hanging out over on GoofTube. What is going on? Alright, hooligans, we're going to move on to this next one. It's titled Mexican Doctors. I still think it should be Doctors in Mexico. X-ray alleged non-human remains. And I think the whole thing that they're calling it non-human but not willing to call it an alien, up until now we didn't have a middle ground. You were either human, animal, or alien. That's all there was. It was like there wasn't anything outside of that. And now they're non-humans, but they're not animals and they're not aliens, so I'm going with cat shit. Sorry. That thing would never survive Klaus Daniels. I don't care how smart it is.
El primer estudio que se hizo fue una tomografía computarizada. El segundo estudio que se hizo fueron placas de rayos X simple. Y el tercero fue un estudio de fluoroscopía. En los tres estudios se trató de ver la estructura, el esqueleto de estos cuerpos, y se logró determinar que sí pertenece a un esqueleto único, no armado, de una sola pieza íntegra.
Just holding it like a model, like he's showing it to mom. He's just like, look what I did. Look what I got. I'm like, yes, we see the cat turd statue. Very nice. Very nice. I wonder, what is the point of all of that? Other than distraction, what are they going to do with it? Are they going to put it in a museum somewhere? Are we going to take a budget now? Is the government gonna be like, well, we need to finance more research into the non-humans, so now we're gonna need even more taxes? Because I think that's all NASA is too. I feel like NASA is just an open budget, because they don't do anything over there, but they get a lot of money. And so I feel like it's an open budget that can be used towards whatever they want to use it for, whatever the government decides is useful in their favor, and they get to tell us, oh yeah, it's this is a budget for NASA. So I wonder, what is the point of keeping the non-human thing going? Are we leading up to Project Bluebeam? Is it going to be an alien invasion staged as a way to control all of us? Are they going to show KJP's real lizard face and say, hey, we've been here the whole time, don't be afraid, you've been taking shit from us for years? Like, is that what it is? Is it desensitization? What is it? What is it? Because I don't think anybody even believes that it's real. Matt, elementary school arts and crafts. It is what it looks like. It totally looks like that. It does not resemble a living thing at all. Not to me, it doesn't. Not just the way it looks, but just the way the corpse is. You've never seen anyone pick a mummy up from Egypt and be like, look at this. Look at this thing that we got. Like, it just, I don't know. To see the doctor just holding it like it's a life-size doll or something, just, look, my new Barbie. Like, wouldn't you be worried about damaging it, contaminating it withering away because of how you're handling it? Like, do you want to be the guy that broke one of the two only existing non-human figures that's ever been presented to the world in public? You want to be that guy? I mean, maybe you'll be TikTok famous from that. Not quite sure. Something weird about it. I don't think it's real. I believe aliens are real. I believe UFOs are out there. I don't have a whole lot of science to back it up. Just something tells me that it's out there. I don't think that's what we're looking at, though. I feel like what they're giving us is nonsense. It's nonsense. They're manipulating the situation. I think what made me believe that stuff is when Canada did their UFO disclosure in 2015. When they came out, their Secretary of Defense came out and spoke to the world publicly, although no one but me ever seems to remember this. Came out publicly and said there was UFOs, there was aliens, they work with the government, they have deals with the government, and every country has disclosed this with their people except for in America, where we don't openly deal with UFOs and aliens. We shoot them down and we have an aggressive relationship with them. And that was a vague summary of what they said. But outside of that, I'm just like, I don't know. I kind of believe anything's possible. I don't really write everything off the table, I guess. There's always a possibility. But those things, that's cat turds. That's Dr. holding cat turds. Over here just x-raying cat turds. So, I don't know. Melissa, I've never done that. Never done that. Alien babies. No. I don't know anything about that. What's up, Cranky Cracker? Happy freedom. Red herring to project white replacement? I mean, maybe. Salty Ragu, I was paid good money to make that alien. Come on, man. I know. We're just over here shitting all over Salty Ragu's art. Who do we think we are? Talking about his craft like that. DeRosa, the mummy jugglers. Yeah, they were really handling that little cat turd sculpture there. Mr. Beansy Beans, it looks like Nancy Pelosi as a child. It does. I didn't even think of that. Where's Nancy Pelosi on this? See, she don't want to show her face because then we would see it. It'd be like, oh, it's one of her. One is enough. One is enough. Mr. Beans, what are you saying here, KJP? I heard she likes Reese's Pieces. What is that? There's got to be a deeper meaning. I'm gonna think on that for a second. Sammy Nilla. If aliens want in, They can use the southern border just like everybody else. It's terrible. It's terrible. K-Love, E.T. likes Reese's Pieces. Oh, I see, and I've only seen E.T. once, and it was so boring. I've never seen the whole thing. I see. I'm glad you guys got me up to speed there. I don't know a whole lot about E.T. All the good things in life? Yeah, I haven't had a lot of that, so I don't know about any of the good movies or anything. I'm still working on seeing Renaissance Man. Someone was telling me to watch that yesterday, I think it was, but I can't find a place to watch it yet. And there's another one, Duel. I gotta watch Duel also. Robert Valiant Thor. Ever read or seen stories of him? No. But I'll grab the name and I'll research it after the live. I love our community that we have, because we're always telling each other to check out new things. We're keeping each other informed. I love that. It's awesome. No, Robert, never seen the Goonies. What's up, not sure? Alright, we're going to move on to this next one. These last two videos are about the Orange Eagle himself. This first one is titled, Trump to Skip GOP Debate to Target Auto Workers. Now, I think that language is a little aggressive. But happy to have Trump coming to Michigan. He's going to Detroit. Come on, brain. Do the thing. We'll see how it goes, because I know the working class wants Trump back. And that's what this is about. Of course, they're, saying bad stuff. They're like, he doesn't want to go to the debate because he'll lose, or something completely unbelievably not true. They're trying to say he's like scared to debate, which is like saying dogs are scared to dig holes. It just doesn't make any sense to me, but that's what they're trying to say. You know how they are with the Orange Eagle. Let's get this started.
Former U.S. President Donald Trump plans to skip the next Republican presidential debate, instead heading to Detroit next week to speak to a crowd of union workers. That's according to an aide on Monday, who said Trump will forego the debate to insert himself into the dispute between striking workers and the United States' top automakers. The event will mark the second time Trump has skipped a Republican primary presidential debate in this election cycle. Despite facing a string of legal woes, the former president still leads his nearest rival by nearly 50 percentage points, according to recent opinion polls. Trump's speech signals an effort by his team to look beyond the Republican primaries and onto a likely general election rematch with Biden next November. And his address to union members points to a Trump campaign to win back some of the working-class voters who defected to Biden in his 2020 victory against Trump. It comes as the United Auto Workers Union began a strike last week against the so-called Detroit 3 carmakers over pay and other benefits. It's a labor dispute that could pose a major political threat for Biden. The current president has vocally supported unions for decades, but there is anger among some rank-and-file auto workers that he has not done enough to stand up to the manufacturers and their executives amid huge industry profits. Trump looks set to seize the opportunity to persuade auto workers and other union members that he will be on their side if he becomes president again. The current strike has geographical significance for next year's general election. Many of the affected workers are based in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, 3 key Midwestern battleground states where the presidential contest could be decided.
Well, a couple things. It's always good to have the Orange Eagle in town. Always. And I think if anybody's going to want to hear from the Orange Eagle, it'd be people who work in a factory. Because it sucks working in a factory. It sucks working anywhere that's not your dream job. And I think even working your dream job sucks sometimes. But wages are not enough. They're not enough. People are having a hard time living. And I don't think we need to raise minimum wage or do any of that stuff that the soft and stupid are always talking about. The economy needs to bounce back, and I don't know how that's going to happen, but I'm sure the Orange Eagle knows. I've never felt on top of things the way I did when the Orange Eagle was in charge. I mean, I wasn't wealthy, but I wasn't worried about eating. I can't tell how many weeks over this last year where I've gone 2-3 days without eating just so I had enough money to eat the next 2 or 3 days. And I mean, legitimately, you know, if you go back and you watch the lives, you can watch me fluctuate weight because I don't know if I'm going to be able to eat from day to day. You know, the car breaks down. That could be detrimental on certain weeks and stuff. And everybody's feeling that way. Everybody is feeling it. And I miss those cheap gas prices. I miss that. I miss everything, really. I miss everything about everything other than the fire in the streets. I miss all of that. And a lot of people associate that with Trump now, which is really sad and pathetic that the media has been so manipulated. People are like, well, I'd like to have Trump back in office because my life was going good and the economy was doing good and we had record-breaking growth. But I don't miss Portland being on fire, or I don't miss marches happening in Detroit or in New York or wherever. Like Trump did that. Like it's his fault that people went out there and acted like assholes. And I think people who make decisions like that, I don't want to say they shouldn't be allowed to vote because I think all Americans should be allowed to vote. But they should have to take a class or something, open their eyeballs, because you can't just be blaming people for stuff they didn't even do. You know, you're walking down the street, guy across the street trips and falls, your wife smacks you, hey, why'd you do that? You're like, sorry, dear. Can't be blaming Trump for what the damn protesters did. Stupid. But I don't know. We're going to cover that live. I don't know exactly what day it is. Maybe it might be happening tomorrow. Snooks will keep me up to date. There's supposed to be some stuff going on tomorrow. I think Trump is going to be live. I'll give you guys the update on that when we get to it. Make sure you're a part of Gilded or jeffmaclive.com. That way you can get notified as soon as I know when we're covering the next Trump live and all that stuff. Plus there's tons of other resources. You guys know I say it every day. Go join Gilded or join jeffmaclive.com, or you could join both if you would like. There's reasons to join both. Let's read through chat really quick before we move on to the next one. The next one's pretty entertaining. It's talking about Trump's interview with Meet the Press, which is like NBC or ABC or one of those soft and stupid channels. And they're fact checking him, but it's so petty. It's so petty. Melissa telling religious jokes in the chat. You guys crack me up. Cranky Cracker, Ramaswamy gives me creeps. Obama 2.0. There is something weird about Ramaswamy. He says all the right things. He's very well spoken. It is easy to get excited about the things he's talking about, but not from him. Who is he? He just came out of nowhere. Where was he the last election? Like, there's a lot of... He seems like a plant. Like someone put him there. I also was wondering how come we're not hearing from... what is the Asian guy's name from 2020? He was running. He was trying to give everyone $1,000. All Americans would get $1,000 every month just for being an American. Somebody I know wanted to vote for him. Yang. I think his name is Yang. Where is he at? He had all those promises just like Ramaswamy. Where's he at now? He didn't even run this year. So I don't know. I don't know about all that. We're going Orange Eagle. I'm all in on Orange Eagle this time. This round, it's Orange Eagle's turn. And then in 2028, I would like to see South Dakota governor run for president. I mean, I like DeSantis and stuff, but he really got blown out on this election run. He's not looking very good, in my opinion, at this point. Mistakes were made. And I don't know if he's going to be able to bounce back in my eyes. But I would like to see the South Dakota governor run, I think, at this point. Because I haven't heard anything bad about her. I haven't seen anything bad about her. And she sounds like a leader. She presents herself as a real leader. And the people in South Dakota seem to be real happy from what I'm hearing. Mr. Beans, it's called Meet the Depressed. Yeah, that must be why Trump looks a little distraught in the interview. I don't know if they purposely screwed his hair up or what, because they love that. They love talking bad about Trump's hair as if that matters somehow to how we live as Americans. Oh, Trump's got bad hair. I guess we'll just stay with old man Walter because his hairdo's so great. That'll fix the economy. Just so petty, so petty. Steve Jackson, the Yang Gang. Yeah, there's people who want that free $1,000 and all of that. I mean, I could use an extra $1,000 a month, but I am not willing to trade my dignity or freedom for it. And that's what the government's always banking on. Oh, you want some free money? Why do you think the DHS building is like that? Because you're signing your life away for food stamps. Some people need it, and there's nothing wrong with needing help. Get the help you need. Stand on your feet, and sometimes you need a little help getting there, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the people who play the system and go run DHS up because they'd rather do that than work, they don't even realize they scratch that winning lottery ticket. Guess what? Government's showing up to take that. When you sign those DHS papers for food stamps and all of that, you're telling them that you will never be wealthy. If you ever do, they will come take it from you. You're agreeing to it. You don't even know it. You don't even know it. And you see lots of people who get food stamps scratching lotto tickets like they're going to fix their life. Imagine the disappointment when the federal government shows up and say, hey, thanks for winning the lottery for us. Because people don't even know what they're signing. They don't even know. Red eye better than wearing a compliance cloth. Yeah. Yeah. I will never wear another compliance cloth. Never. The only time I did it is when I was working at the factory and you either wore it or you got fired, and I pushed it as far as I could. And ultimately I did get let go for standing up for our rights because they were stepping on our constitutional rights left and right at that factory. It was driving me nuts. I couldn't be in that building 5 minutes without being in HR with my phone reading federal laws to tell them the rules or the laws that they're breaking and the rights that they are trampling on. And after a while they had enough of that and they let my ass go. They did not like that. And I was standing up for my coworkers and everything. I was training my coworkers on what to say and the rights that they're are being abused and how they're being mistreated and didn't even know it. They're just like, yeah, but that's how things are. That's not okay, and that's not good enough. You have rights, and they need to stand by that. And my coworkers were just like, I don't know. And so I'd go in there by myself and stand up for everybody in the building, in the whole shop, and tell them, like, you cannot be treating people this way. And they were like, oh, yeah, well, you're the only asshole coming in here bothering us every day. And I was like, well, guess so. Guess that's me. Well, they fixed that. They got rid of my ass. And everybody else, they complied until they couldn't. And now that company that used to have 500 workers on the floor at any given time, 24 hours a day, they can't pull a whole 100 people now and they're facing bankruptcy. Well, that's what happens when you stand on the necks of your employees. And then I got this job. And I was like, being a hardcore truther, this is probably where I belong. Right here. I will never not stand up for people being trampled on. It's inside of me. It's a part of me. I don't know if it's a hero complex or what, but I will always stand up for people that are being trampled on. I've ran into burning houses and all that stuff. I should be like a first responder or a firefighter or a cop or something because I got that in me. I will go into a hostage situation for the greater good. The real greater good, not the Gestapo version of the greater good. It's just the way I'm made. Oh, we got bots visiting us over on Twitch. We can go ahead and get rid of that. Let's read through the chat really quick. We got one more video. It is the Orange Eagle once again. James, a wolf in the sheep's pen. Yep, something like that. Status quo, absolutely. Absolutely. Why are people questioning Snook's authenticity? She's absolutely a hooligan. She works very hard to make sure that these lives run every day. She totally keeps me up to date with everything going on, sending me links, letting me know scheduling times and stuff like that. She works her ass off. Let's see. Hair juicer, compliance cloth. Saved my coworker's life. A dust collector unclogged in his face with incredible force. Yeah, I mean, there's a time and a place. There's a time and place, and that's the other thing is people are so resistant to the compliance cloth that when they're in dangerous situations where you do need a face covering, they're not even willing to wear it because it's like PTSD. It flashes back to having to comply, and so people are like, no, I'm just gonna paint without a face covering. I'm just gonna be doing, you know, dangerous stuff, particles in the air and stuff. I'm not even gonna wear anything because I'm so against the compliance cloth. And no, I agree. There is a time and a place to wear a mask, and you know, not all masks are compliance cloths. I think it's the situation. It's the situation you're in. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you here, Juicer. So we're going to show this last video. It's titled NBC's Trump Fact Check After Meet the Press Interview. You don't have to worry about this being terribly awful. It is hosted by Newsmax, so it's going to be a little bit witty. A little bit.
No concrete.
Hold on a second here. Let me get set up. All set up. My neck is broken. I think I was breakdancing in my sleep or something. I need to drink some water and lay down after this or something. I feel like I need to crack it and I can't. Oh, you hear me creaking and cracking over here? You should hear me walk. I can't. It's just like snap, snap, snap every step of the way. I'm getting old. I'm getting old, hooligans. You know, what can I say? I'm getting old. It's been a long run. Let's get this started.
No concrete HD video evidence taken by NBC cameras of any malfeasance. So, of course, everything's on the up and up as usual. And since everything Trump says always gets fact-checked, fact-checking is now back. We expected plenty of corrections in this one. And in fact, NBC did an entire write-up of the fact checks for the president's interview, something that they never do when Biden lays down a 20-minute endless stream of lies and incoherent nonsense. NBC's fact check on this one was priceless, starting with immigration after the former president said this.
I built almost 500 miles of wall. We were then going to build another 200 miles of certain areas that all of a sudden people were coming into areas that they couldn't come into anymore. And we're all set to do that.
So Trump says he built almost 500 miles of wall. That's another Trumpy lie from Trump the liar, screams NBC. And then take a look at the fact check, the correction. A Customs and Border Protection spokesman said in Trump's final days in office that the administration had built 453 miles of new border wall system. So according to NBC, that is not almost 500 miles, which is what Trump said. He said almost 500 miles. 453 miles apparently is not almost 500 miles. Just know that. A good one there. And then they corrected this claim on what was the disastrous Afghanistan exit. Take a look.
We gave $85 billion worth of equipment to the Taliban.
Well, it's another Trump lie, NBC says. It was only $7.1 billion in equipment, they say. But then you see a clarification. And you find NBC actually forced to say that it was $83 billion when you look at the total that we spent preparing Afghan security forces for 20 years. Not nearly the full cost of the war, just the preparation of Afghan security forces. Another great correction. What did Trump say? 85? Now they're saying 83. Par for the course. Outside of the fact-checking, there was a news-making moment for Trump on Meet the Press. Something important did happen when the former president, in my opinion, neutralized one of the left's biggest fear tactics that they're going to use in 2024, and that is the issue of abortion. Now, Trump never gave a specific policy plan, but he certainly appealed to the moderates in this country when talking about this. He complimented the idea of 15 weeks. He didn't say that's what he wants to do. He didn't say he wants to do anything at all. It's back to the states now, and as far as he's concerned, he says that's what it should be. But he did compliment 15 weeks, which is a huge disappointment to the left-wing fearmongers trying to elicit votes by selling Republicans as the party turning the United States into the handmaid's tale. And of course, there's a lot of, everybody has an opinion on abortion. It's a very touchy, tough subject. But if you're going to win an election, this is probably a pretty good place to start if you're the Republican and you're trying to neutralize a threat from the other side. Take a look at how the president spoke.
Other than certain parts of the country, you're not going to win on this issue, but you will win on this issue when you come up with the right number of weeks, because Democrats don't want to be radical on the issue, most of them, some do. They don't want to be radical on the issue. They don't want to kill a baby in the 7th month or the 9th month or after birth. And they're allowed to do that, and you can't do that. People are starting to think of 15 weeks. That seems to be a number that people are talking about right now.
Would you sign that?
I would sit down with both sides and I'd negotiate something, and we'll end up with peace on that issue for the first time in 52 years.
They like to ask him questions on touchy subjects and then just pretty much cut every word up and rearrange the sentences in ways that fits their agenda. So I'm not surprised that they keep bringing Trump on, even though they hate Trump. It's good for their ratings, because their ratings ain't doing anything without Trump. You can only talk bad about him without bringing him on so much. You got to bring him on. You got to do an interview and stuff, and then talk while he talks, and interrupt him while he talks, and deny everything he says. And I don't know how he does it. He's got a lot of self-control. Going into the lion's den, smile, answer all their stupid questions, just let them go on being ignorant and walk away standing tall. Orange Eagle, he's always on it. Heck yeah. Like I said, I think we have the Orange Eagle live tomorrow. I will keep you guys up to date. I'm going to drop the Linktree link in the chat so you guys can take advantage of that. Oh yeah, I forgot. I can't post on the website. We're going to be making adjustments to that chat on the website later today. Sly Dog, you're right. All babies matter. So here's the Linktree link. Of course, all of the links to make donations or join membership programs is at the top if you would like to support the live any way you can or would like. Then after that, I believe, is the merch stuff. Yes. All of that. So a little bit of everything on the Linktree list. Just go ahead and go down the list and check everything out. All the good stuff. Go get you a cool t-shirt, new coffee mug, anything like that if you would like to support the live. But what I ask is that you join Gilded. If you're not a part of Gilded, go ahead and join Gilded. It is free. You can access it from your computer or your phone. If you have the app on your phone, you will get notifications every time we go live. There's Hooligans there 24/7, keeping the conversation going. If you would like to go be social and stay in the know of what's going on, the news board is there and is constantly updated so you can stay up to date with everything going on around the world. And like I said, it is the best way to be notified every single time we go live, so definitely go join Gilded. Or if you're really feeling supportive, you can join the website. We're constantly updating the website. And over on the website, they can't kick our tower over. There's no threats of strikes or account suspension, or that stuff doesn't happen on the website. They can't come kick our tower over. Well, Hooligans, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. I just dropped the Linktree link to all of you guys if you would like to support the live. But right now is that time again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So I just remembered that I was having suggestions to do the Pledge of Allegiance at the beginning of the show, and I'm going to try and write a note down so maybe we can remember to do that tomorrow. We'll give it a try. I don't normally do it in the beginning because everyone hasn't showed up yet, but maybe it'll give you guys a reason to show up at the beginning. There we go. I will try and remember. You guys are welcome to remind me, okay? I am forgetful. I'm in charge of a lot of stuff. And, you know, your memory works like a table. And I put so much stuff on the table that sometimes things get knocked off and then I forget that I'm supposed to be doing things. So you guys are always welcome to remind me. Don't be afraid to call me out. Don't be an asshole about it. It probably won't work in your favor, but don't be afraid to keep me up to date. All right, just reading through the chats really quick, make sure everybody is good to go. We will be live again 6 p.m. Eastern time over on Jeff Mac Gaming. You can also watch on Kick or jeffmaclive.com if you want to come play the game with us, hang out, have fun, forget our problems for a couple of hours, and just enjoy space. We're playing Starfield still. I don't know how much longer we're going to be playing Starfield. We got to be getting close to the end of the storyline, and after that, we're going to finish up Fallout 4 DLC, and then we'll be moving on to Skyrim, I think is how we're going to be doing things. But if you'd like to check it out, once again, go check out Jeff Mac Gaming. You can find it at the bottom of the Linktree link. Yeah. Join Gilded. Be a part of jeffmaclive.com. I'll let you guys know when we're covering the Orange Eagle tomorrow. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Big shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I would not be able to do this without you. So thank you so much for all your support. I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.